It's 80 degrees Celsius in the city of Lusaka, and I'm your host, David Floyd. And I welcome you to Zed Express, where music, poetry, and filmmaking is taking the lead. In just a few minutes, we'll be having an interview with an amazing artist. He goes by the name Stackmuller.
So I'm imagining a young person like me in a world of hip-hop and the culture's changing. How do I really paint God in the most interesting way? So I'm sitting down to plan. First of all, I sit down and I'm thinking who God is to me, because for me, God is somebody who accepted my hip-hop and R&B, that culture. I didn't really want to pretend where just because I'm a Christian now, I'm a believer, I don't have to be put in a box where my hip-hop culture of love and poetry and music is boxed up. I just wanted to bring out the best me. So I'm thinking there's a youth out there who I can put in my shoes. And I was thinking, how can I paint this picture of God? Who is this real God to me? As young as I am, how can I still enjoy God? So I'm trying to paint a picture to them, and that's how it made me creative. And that plan for me didn't only change my audience, but I believe it changed me first. For me, music making has impacted me big time because it's making me discover many me's in me. Everybody got a lot of people in them. What I mean is the different personalities, and there's just different talent within. Every time there's a new music project and so on, it just brings out that part of you that you're also learning. That's how it made me creative, and that plan for me didn't only change my audience, but I believe it changed me first. I believe when you want something to be impactful, it doesn't have to impact anybody else apart from you. Came to me and said, maybe I just love the beat, man. The beat was down and they didn't really pay attention to the lyrical content. But you understand that through paying attention to the beat, there's a point where it's just saturated and they're thinking, what is he talking about? So for me, regardless of it, what ministers to you is very important. There's some people who just say, man, you nailed the beat in that track, and that's what made me inspired. It got me inspired to listen to a song. And the other people who told me, I just love that punchline. I love that line you hit, and because of that, they go to the music, and it's a combination. But then in the long run, you realize that regardless of what catches you as a hook in music, there's always something that consolidates it, and you listen to both of it. That's it. I've seen it, and it's a testimony that has come where people say, I was following the beat, or maybe I was following this, but I just ended up loving the song, and that's how it's been. Yeah. Being creative is good, but you want to make sure you're being creative and you don't end up doing the same thing. You're trying to make something that doesn't exist, you understand? You're trying to paint to the world something that exists in your mind or upon your heart, where music is about inspiration. You get inspiration from God, or maybe just from a certain situation, but you're trying to put across a message. But the question and the challenge is, how best do I do this? It's not easy, because you don't want to go too fast or too slow, too hardcore or too soft. You just really want to emphasize, and that's a challenge.
Hi people, you're watching Zed Express. And I welcome you to Zed Express, where music, poetry, and filmmaking is taking the lead. Hi people, it's me, David Floyd. You're watching Zed Express.
You're limited to less than 5 minutes of a song, you understand? So the challenge is, how can I compress this complex idea into something that can be communicated? Yeah, it's already a challenge, but then for me, how I thought that, like I said earlier, it's about putting myself in the shoes of the body that is going to listen to that music, and it's easy for me that way. That's how I solve the challenge. Yeah, it is a challenge. The struggle's real, man. Yeah. It's always one, but it's not impossible. It's always possible. And for me, that challenge is what makes music, just like life. When you're not certain about what's happening next, you look forward to living, man. Yeah. Wow. I want to say, keep learning and keep discovering yourself. They say what makes a man is what he goes through. So don't avoid obstacles. Behind every obstacle, there's a breakthrough. So don't avoid the mistakes that you can make. So what is important is just be you, whatever your inspiration is from within or from within your environment or from within your person, because there's a lot of conflicts that go on. There's a conflict that is external, which comes from the people you relate to. There's also conflict that comes from within. So you gotta learn how to solve both of them. There's some times where you write something and because there's wrong feedback, you feel I'm not the best at this, but you're different. So don't be let down by people who tell you, I wish you sounded like Stark or you sounded like that person. Just be you. Don't let anybody insult you by comparing you to somebody else, and don't make the mistake of insulting you by comparing yourself to somebody else. But for the people who criticize, regardless of who they are, I'm thinking, what are they looking for? I'm not trying to fake it to become maybe a puppet of who they want me to become, but I use that as a way of improvement, and I get
Whoa, that was so inspiring and motivating from our fellow Stack Mullah. If you want to be in touch with us, we are on Facebook, that is View TV Zambia. Like our page and we're going to be in touch with you. Don't forget to keep it Zed Express. See you in 7 days.